Examples about spelling regular past tense verbs. When do we use double letters? So if you have ever wondered why we have a double letter in stopped, why we have a double P in dropped, or two G's in hugged, this is the presentation that is going to answer your questions. Come with me. Now, most verbs need no changes when we add the past tense ed. Let me give you some examples. When I use the word walk and I want to make it into the past tense, I say walked. When I want to put jump in the past, I say jumped. Look turns into looked, and I don't use any double K there. Smile turns to smiled. It has just one L, and want turns to wanted. This is the normal way to make the past tense. And most verbs act this way, but a few special verbs need a change to a double letter. So for example, the word stop changes to stopped with a double P, and drop changes to dropped with a double P. Plan gets a double N to make planned. Hug turns into hugged with a double G, and then beg turns into begged. So for a lot of people, this opens up the question, how do we know if we need a double letter or not? Well, let's talk about it. Part one of this presentation is about words with one syllable or short words. So to understand this rule, let's review vowels and consonants. Vowels are 5 letters in English: A, E, I, O, and U. And consonants are basically all of the other letters. So you have to understand the categories of vowels and consonants to really understand what's happening here. For one-syllable words, the choice about double letters depends on the last letters of the word. And we can have many patterns of letters at the end of a word. For example, when we look at the word hug, the last letters are a vowel and a consonant. Just one vowel and one consonant. When we look at walk, we see a vowel and then consonant, consonant, because L and K are both consonants. On the other hand, with the word look, we see vowel, vowel, consonant. And with the word dive, we have this special pattern that starts with a vowel, then we get a consonant, and then we get this special letter E, the silent E, at the end of the word. So all of these words kind of fall into different categories, and to make the decision about double letters, you have to be able to see very quickly, if you have vowels or consonants at the end of the word. Now, let's just do a little practice with this. I have these 4 different patterns of letters here, and I'm going to give you some example verbs, and I want you to put the verb into the correct category. And if you want, you can even stop the video, draw this table with the 4 lists on a piece of paper, and then write the words, as we talk about them in the correct list. Let's start with the word jump. And if I go too fast here, just pause the video to give yourself time to think. But what we're looking at here with the verb jump is that we have the vowel with a U, and then the letter M is a consonant, and the letter P is a consonant. So this is vowel, consonant, consonant. It's going to be kind of like the word walk. And sure enough, it goes in that list. Let's look at hike. Here, the vowel is I, so we have a vowel, and then a consonant K, and then the silent E. So we're going to put it in that category, vowel, consonant, silent E. Next, we have wait. What do you see here? Well, A is a vowel, I is a vowel, and T is a consonant. So this looks more like the verb look, we have vowel, vowel, consonant. You're probably getting better at this by now. Here's one more example. What about the word bake? Well, we have A, which is a vowel, K, which is a consonant, and the silent E. How about plan? Do you see vowel, consonant? It's just A is the vowel and N is the consonant, so just one vowel, one consonant. I'm going to go a little faster now. Stop. I see vowel, consonant. It should go here. Kick. I see vowel, consonant, consonant. It should go there. Next, want. Do you see vowel, consonant, consonant? It goes in the second list. Next, need. This is vowel, vowel, consonant. It goes here. Next is start. The A is the vowel, and then we have consonant, consonant. How about rip? One vowel, one consonant? Yep. And like, I think this is the last one. Like. Do you see the vowel, consonant, silent E? That goes in this list. So if you can see those patterns at the end of words, then the rest of this rule is going to be easy for you. For one syllable words, we use a double letter only if the verb ends in vowel, consonant. One vowel, one consonant. So this word hug follows the rules, one vowel, one consonant, and that means when we change it to the past tense, we have to put an extra G before we add the ED. Now, all of these others, if it has a double consonant or a double vowel already in the base form, then we don't make any new double letters. So we use walked and looked, and basically we can just add the ED and we're finished. And then for a word like this, if it has a silent E, then we just keep the letter E and we add a D. Okay, so now it's time for a little practice. Take a piece of paper and pause the video and write down the past tense of these 10 words. Are you ready to check your answers? Here we go. Cook should be cooked. Work, worked. Stop, stopped. Do you see the reason for the double P? It has a one vowel, one consonant here. Jump, jumped. Cross, crossed. What about slap? You got it. So it's a double P because this is AP. For dance, we should have danced. Clean should be cleaned. What do you think about rob? If you got a double B, you're right, robbed. And then knit, knitted. So I hope you got 10 out of 10 on this. If you did, you're doing great. Now, part 2 is about some exceptions to this rule. Now, words that end in W or Y never get a double letter. So for the word hug, we know that it has a vowel and a consonant, so we need a letter G, and we get hugged. But for the letter W and the letter Y, they're kind of playing a role in these words that's kind of in between a vowel and a consonant, so they don't get any, we never double the W, and we also never double the Y. So you can just put ED on these words and it's totally fine. Okay, the last part of this presentation is words with 2 syllables, and the rule here is similar but a little bit more complicated. So for 2-syllable words, some with the VC pattern get a double letter and others do not. So we're still looking for the V and the C at the end of the word. But actually there's a less possibility of getting a double letter here. So all of these examples end with a VC pattern. If we look at listen, travel, cover, happen, and visit, these words are a little bit longer than before. And we see, if we look at the last two sounds, we see a letter E, a letter N. So one vowel, one consonant. We have a E-L, E-R, E-N, and I-T. So all of these words look like one vowel and one consonant. But when we move them to the past tense, they don't get any double letter. They just get ED. So you have to keep that in mind, that with two-syllable words, you don't always follow the same rule. There's no change in the spelling to make the past tense. However, these examples also end with a VC pattern. The word prefer, refer, admit, commit, and control. And the past tense, so all of these words have V and C, like one vowel, one consonant, one vowel, one consonant, one vowel, one consonant. They're following the same pattern, but when we put them in the past tense, they do get a double letter. So this rule is a little bit less, reliable if we are working with two-syllable words. These all have the double letter in the past tense. Why? So what's so special about these words that they need a double letter? The answer is the word stress. Let me explain. To get a double letter, two-syllable words must have a VC pattern and the last syllable must be stressed. So they have to be a yes on both of those conditions, and then we can put a double letter. So if I look at the word listen, I tried to make it in big letters here. You can see that the first part of the word, it's kind of louder and longer. That means it has stress. We say listen, or travel, cover. The first part of the word is the most important part, but then the vowel and the consonant come at the end of the word here. And so since here the last syllable must be stressed, these ones don't qualify to make any double letters. So you just put the ED on these normally. Now, when we get to these words which are different, when I say prefer or admit or control, the stress is on the second part of the word, and we have a V and C at the end of the word. So this is following both of the rules in order to get a double letter, and that's why we have preferred with a double R, admitted with a double T, and controlled with a double L. So you have to meet two criteria, two rules if you're going to get a double letter for these longer words. So let's do a little bit of practice with this. My question is, can you create regular past tense verb from these base form verbs? Pause the video, take a piece of paper, and do your best to make the past tense here. Are you ready to check? You should have decide, decided, follow, followed, realize, realized, consider, considered, prefer, which you can hear the stress in the second half, prefer, should turn into preferred with a double R, continue, continued, arrive, arrived, explain, explained, listen, listened, and record, and recorded. So what I want you to notice here is that actually for these, especially for these two-syllable verbs, the double letter is a little bit rare. We have about 90% of the verbs don't get any double letter, and it's just this kind of special case where we need one. So keep that in mind as you're working on this. And to finish up here, let's review what you studied in this lesson. Number 1, not all past tense verbs need double letters. In fact, double letters are only used in rare cases. And if you're trying to learn this for the first time and you're not sure, the best advice is don't use a double letter, because double letters are not very common. And then if you have a one-syllable word, look for the pattern VC at the end of the word, like one vowel and one consonant. In this case, double the consonant and add ed. Our last rule is if you have a two-syllable word or longer, look for the pattern VC at the end of the word, and also check the word stress. Is the stress on the last syllable? Then, if both of those things are true, then double the consonant and add ed. That's the end of this presentation. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions after this, please feel free to bring them to class and we can talk about it again.